Happy holidays, everybody. At the time of this recording, it is currently Christmas Day. I forgot to put it on the wrong date, so in any case, here you go. Happy holidays. This video was made thanks to viewers like you. Thank you.
I love hearing about a show. I love hearing about a show that I've never seen or heard of before. And I also love it when it's one of those shows that everybody tells me, no matter who I talk to, that it's a show that is, in their opinion, too important to ignore. Except newer anime. Now don't get me wrong, I love newer anime. I do. Hell, most of my first impressions, if not all my first impressions, have been new anime as they are airing, including the newest one I just did. Links in the description down below. Because I wanted to see it from the beginning, and I just didn't want to have to put it on this list I have, this very, very long list of anime shows that I have put down to watch, critique, and review. And adding another one onto that list before I'm anywhere near done is both depressing and kind of a waste of time. I decided to go ahead, forget about it, put it right up top, and I'm glad I did. So hello, I'm Jay, this is Anime Guardian, and today, the 2019 anime directed by Shinichi Matsumi and from Studio Orange, Beastars Season 1. Hey guys, by the way, if you guys like this show and you want to give me your input of animes I should watch and review, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below. As well, since you're there, might as well hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hey, since you're doing all that anyway, go ahead and hit the notification bell. That way you guys can be notified when I actually upload videos.
In a world dominated by animals of all kinds split up into two groups, carnivores and herbivores, one day a young high school kid, a sheep named Tim, gets killed and even eaten by a classmate in the drama club. As a result, school is in a total disarray and chaos, and the two groups are even more divided than they were before. The herbivores are scared of being eaten, and why wouldn't they? They go to school with lions and cheetahs, and the carnivores are just as mad for being unjustly and falsely accused of being the one that ate the classmate. Okay, so the show likes to really involve itself around the three main characters, those being Legoshi the wolf, Luis the deer, and Haru the dwarf rabbit. Now, these characters are in a love triangle, you could say, and it's because they are all centered around one girl who really has no love interest, at least not in the beginning. So, Legoshi the wolf is a underclassman at the school who is kind enough. He's kind of a pacifist, doesn't really want to hurt anybody, but that goes directly against his instincts and makes him ask himself who he is. On the other side of that coin, you got Luis the deer, who is so cocky and so arrogant in his own right that drives most people, if they're anything like me, insane. He's so arrogant, yet at the same time, he's so envious. He wants to be a carnivore. He's so scared, and he hates the fact of dealing with that fear. He'd rather be intimidated than to be. He'd rather be the intimidator instead of being the one intimidated. And that basically rules everything he does and how he functions. Haru is a unique character in and of herself. Haru is a dwarf bunny who is kind of a well, she's a slut, but she doesn't let the fact that she is a slut bother her. She doesn't let the fact that she is constantly bullied at school bother her. In fact, most of the time when bullies come at her, she strikes right back. She tells them off more than once, and it's an amazing sight to see. But she is well aware of how Legoshi feels, or at least she assumes, and she may or may not be in love with Luis. I can't really go much further into this show because, spoilers. But the show itself is really something to behold, and if you have never seen anything like it, I think you should give it a try. I bring up, shows like Land of the Lustrous and the 3D shows that have done really well in the past recent years. And it's amazing that they're both the Land of the Lustrous and Beastars are both from the same studio, Studio Orange. What an amazing turn of events.
The animation was done by Studio Orange, who has done work for shows such as Black Bullet, as well as Land of the Lustrous, a show that you need to watch more.
I bring up the animation in this way because, like the Land of the Lustrous, it's something that we don't really see. Of course, the CGI is there and it's noticeable, it's not hidden at all, but it doesn't distract away from the story or the plot or the characters, just like Land of the Lustrous didn't. However, there are shows that most CGI have been in that has been terrible. And with Studio Orange making some good stuff like Under the Dog, and then some stuff that's more like, just for an example, Godzilla Singular Point. Yes, that is an actual anime, and no, I don't intend on watching it in April. I mean, the stories in of themselves is great. Haru tends to get a little bit on my nerves, but she's not just your wacky normal main female lead in the anime. No, she stands up for herself. She knows when she's had enough, and she will let all of her bullies know that she's had enough. One of her main bullies is a different species of rabbit, I guess, an endangered species of rabbit, and because of that, she feels the need to insult her. One of the things I didn't really care for, honestly, was Legoshi, because I feel like Legoshi, as good as he is, his reasons behind it are never really revealed. Spoilers. So, I'm not going to get into that. It's a masterful piece, but on to sound. I would also like to take considerable notice of the animation, or as I should say, the claymation in the intro. Is something that you don't see very often in anime or in any show, especially in this day and age, and it was very well done. I thoroughly appreciate it.
The music was done by Satoru Okozaki, and I apologize if I mispronounced that. My pronunciation is awful, I'm so sorry. He has done works for other shows such as Lucky Star, as well as some in the Monogatari series, which says enough praises, at least in my opinion. The music is very upbeat, very happy, even at some times very, very tranquil. It's one of the things I really liked about the songs in the OST. However, the OST, as good as it is, does not make the anime great. And if I was to judge the music solely on that in and of itself, this show would not be getting a good rating from me. The music, although is good, is not terrific. Not like something I was hearing when I was listening to Madoka Magica, or even a couple weeks ago's review of Pandora's Heart with Yuki Kaja. There's some art that is very, very unique and very, very artsy, and this music just didn't do it for me. There's a fellow YouTuber who I respect dearly, who has had a saying for a very, very long time. The ending is paramount. And this saying I have tried to use to the best of my abilities to put into each and every video I make, into each and every review I take, and each and everything I do when it comes to this great YouTube platform.
As far as Beastars Season 1 goes, in terms of how the ending goes, well, for me to really talk about this, there's some spoilers that I have to get into, so I'm going to give you a 5-second warning to get out. Don't listen because you will get spoiled. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They gone? Okay, good. So, one of the issues I have is there are certain plot points that didn't really get resolved by the end of it, such as who really are the Shishigumi, what are their real intentions, why are they eating animals, is it just for a sick game, or is there something to really do about it? They mentioned business, so on and so forth. What happened to Louise? Where did he go after what happened with the lions? Why didn't he come back and see his friends? Why didn't he go with Legoshi in the beginning? So these type of things and these type of questions, as far as where I'm standing, make it hard for me to say it was a good ending. However,
the ending to Beastars Season 1 doesn't really matter because we are getting Season 2 later on in 2021, as I mentioned, early January 2021, as I mentioned earlier. However, if we were not getting that sequel, if we were not getting a second season, the ending to this first season of Beastars, I personally feel like although there was a lot of plot holes that were left, were done perfectly, as well as the ending itself, the final scene of the final episode of Beastars Season 1, I felt ended it enough on a good enough note and chapter that if we got no more, I'd be totally fine with it.
I gotta tell you, I skipped out on this when it first came out, and I thought, CG was CG and anime, and this was before I even watched Land of the Lustrous. And I'm like, you know what, I'll put it on my watch list. Maybe I'll get to it when I get to it. Maybe I won't. Well, I had a good friend of mine literally sit me down saying, no, you need to watch this as soon as humanly possible. And then I sat down to watch this review, and I was like, wow. So the fact that it's getting a season 2 is welcome, because quite frankly, to finish some of the plot holes, it needs a season 2. However, I am always nervous about sequels and second seasons because those can very easily fix a show, but it can very easily break a show as well, and that's always been my concern. Will it have enough to keep it going in the longevity of a positive note, or will it be like so many others that we've seen that not only not help the show, but create bigger plot holes? I think of the just off the top of my head, I think of the so I have watched, critiqued, and reviewed Beastars Season 1. And as such, I think it's good. I can't wait for season 2. With that being said, I give you the recommendation to stream it. Definitely stream it and watch season 2 before you watch season 1. If you want to listen to the music, you can find it right there on Apple's Music as well as Spotify. For alternate anime recommendations, I first point you to The Boy and the Beast, a movie from a couple years ago that is really kind of underplayed or underrated than what it used to be, which is quite a shame, really. And the other one is the aforementioned Land of the Lustrous. Seriously, if you have not watched that show yet, you need to get onto that, okay?
Please leave a comment down in the section below, as well as watch my Pandora Hearts review right up here. And hey, if you like what you saw in that video and this video, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and hey, since you're already heading that way anyway, hit the notification bell, that way you can be up to date when I make new videos. Anyway, thank you guys, I am Jay, this has been Anime Garage, and I'll see you in the next review.